Hi, my name is Anthony Spadaro, student of Central Queensland University. Today I will be covering a few discussions from class forums that were held throughout the duration of the term. The topics covered will be the data quality in nutrition assessments, body fatness and fertility, iodine during pregnancy, breastfeeding in Australia, school nutrition, adolescent health, overweight and obesity, and calorie restriction and the aging process. 3-day 24-hour recalls are a beneficial tool that records food consumption and can be used to evaluate a person's nutritional intake. Energy intake was found to be underreported in the first 24-hour recall of Yuncheng et al. Study, and the second and third 24-hour recalls demonstrated a higher energy intake. The underreporting could be due to participants being more aware of what they eat. The recalls tend to work for most of my clients when they log their food straight after they've eaten. Most people struggle to remember what they've eaten in their last meal, and this has been one of the major positives with having immediate recalls. Traditional food diaries tend to be a chore for most people, and estimation of portion sizes can be inaccurate. So it's important to keep consistent with the measurements that you record. Is BMI an indicator for or of fertility? In a study by Shivara, Toth, Mika, and Hauser, it was found that a BMI of greater than 35 resulted in a lower sperm count than normal weighted men. It's interesting to note that only males with an extreme case of obesity had a lower sperm count. Sperm concentration, motility, and morphology were unaffected. Eating in an unhealthy manner not only affects infants but also adults also. The increase of gestational diabetes has increased since obesity has increased, and the fact is that excessive consumption of foods high in refined sugar will contribute to gestational diabetes. It will affect infants later in life with the possibility of developing obesity, glucose tolerance, and diabetes. Iodine fortification has also increased with fortifications of breads and cereals. It's important to note that fetuses, neonates, and the elderly are susceptible to developing iodine-induced thyroid dysfunction with an increased iodine exposure. This may result in potential case of hypo or hyperthyroidism. Not only does iodine factor in fortification, but you have vitamin A, zinc, and a few other vitamins and minerals that they fortify in certain foods. It's important that excessive intakes are controlled due to the fact that there may be possible cases of dizziness, pain in the joints, skin irritation, and in some cases death. It's also important for pregnant women to know if they are consuming and they contain a safe limit of iodine and vitamin A. There's conflicting views on if breast is the best method and if formula is consistent with that of breast milk. It's a sensitive topic. Generally, you're either for or against breastfeeding, and the National Breastfeeding Strategy came into play as the Department of Health found that breastfeeding was suboptimal in 2009, and they wanted to increase the number of mothers breastfeeding. The attitude of the partner, relatives and the public are an important area that may hinder a mum's attitude towards breastfeeding. It's important for partners to support and resolve change, as everyone does have an opinion or advice. In the end, it will be the choice of what the parents want for their child. Significant others have the ability to make mothers feel guilty or remorseful when disapproving or critical. Infancy and childhood are two key stages that may assist with setting up a solid foundation for later in life. Key nutritional habits are established in childhood. Requirements for nutrients determines how we develop later in life. Parents have a very large impact, but so do grandparents, teachers, and friends and family. Healthy options must be provided, and education is important. Eating patterns developed in interaction with parents surrounding feeding resulted in a positive early eating habit. And also the parental presence with adolescents found the consumption of vegetables, fruit and dairy was also increased. Obesity has increased dramatically since the 1970s, and it's important to be on top of education and encouraging healthy options throughout life. Physical activity is a key in ensuring adolescents are fit and healthy. Sports and play were integral parts of when I was growing up. Emphasis was never really on exercise, it was mostly play. Playtime was fun, and exercise was always viewed as difficult or hard. In my time in the gym, I found that most people react very differently when playing a game rather than just doing 10 reps of lifting weight for a certain exercise. Positive behaviours growing up is very important, and a positive association between nutrition behaviours and small screen recreation were found it more in males reporting unhealthy behaviours than females. And also the parent's BMI plays a role in predicting adolescent BMI. So the parent really has a great influence to shape certain behaviours. As parents and health practitioners, education is important to practice and also to practice what we preach, and it plays a huge part in shaping and improving not only our families but our communities. As a personal trainer, I've seen many people who want to lose weight. After initial consultation, it is clear most identify their body image as the number one reason to lose weight. I have found this type of motivation does not last as long in comparison to someone who wants to change their health and lives due to either a health scare or seeing someone close to them deteriorate due to average lifestyle choices. So is it better to look good or feel good? From my experience, most do want to lose weight for body image. However, focus on health creates better habits and a greater relationship with food. Dieting is not a long-term approach to healthy eating. In a study by Pritchard and Tigerman, they found that 50% of participants planned to lose weight before the wedding and 40% intended to go on a diet. Events can ruin great nutritional habits and create a bad relationship with food. The exposure to obesity resulted in overweight males being perceived as a healthy weight. It has become acceptable in today's society to be overweight, where not so long it was frowned upon. Calorie restriction and and the aging process. Calorie restriction may suit some people that are genetically wired for this way of eating. However, each individual reacts differently. With intermittent fasting becoming popular of late in the fitness industry, there may be a connection that the fasting component is more beneficial for your health and expression of genes rather than purely body composition purposes. Quality of life is important and should be focused on more than the quantity. Calorie restriction has many health benefits, including the reduction of age-related diseases such as cancer and cardiovascular disease, but also favors expressions involved in cell repair, protein synthesis, and glucose metabolism. Any website that promotes one way of eating with bias is not a good thing. The good part of websites that promote certain diets is to learn about new views and why it may work. The bad part for promotion of certain diets is that it may lead to unhealthy food behaviors and cause major nutrition deficiencies if they are unaware of what combinations of food are required to stay healthy. Overall, I learned a lot in regards to healthy eating and nutrition, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you for your time.